Well, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave from Chase the Summit, and we are live once again. Happy New Year, first of all, and thanks for joining me if you're out there right now. So before we start, make sure you join me in the chat. Make sure this thing's actually working, because from my end, I never know if I'm just talking to myself or if I'm actually live. So hop in the chat. Let me know where you're from, where you're listening from, where you're watching from, and how I sound. If anything looks or sounds bad, please let me know, because I hate seeing that after the fact. If you're joining me on the podcast, I've got a podcast now called Chase the Summit. Again, nothing original there. But if you are joining me on the podcast, thanks for listening in. I really appreciate it. And if you're watching the replay as well. Okay, so I've kind of got a mixed bag of items today that I want to talk about. I took notes, so it won't go unstructured today. First off, I want to, okay, good. People are in the chat. So I know I'm live. Thanks for letting me know, everybody. Let me know where you're from while you're in there. Okay. So first of all, I don't know who saw my Instagram story or post rather. A few days ago, like a week ago, I posted a Instagram story or a post rather. I'm old. I never know if it's a story or a post. Let me show you that now. There it is. Oh, for some reason I have a chat on the screen. There we go. So there's me, and I've got some headphones in my hand because I'm giving them away. Those are the Soundcore X2s. So awesome earbuds, great for running, all kinds of exercise and stuff. And I'm doing a giveaway, and it was just kind of to promote the Instagram. It's a new Instagram page, so if you haven't followed it yet, go ahead and follow me there. I have links down in the description for that. And I was giving away these earbuds, so I was going to pick somebody at random, and I've already pre-picked. I basically just scrolled and stopped. I should have used like a randomizer app or something, but I didn't. I just scrolled through all the applicable comments, because it was from the first 150 comments. And we've got a winner. So Chris with two S's, Chris 2S's G81. Congratulations. You just won a new pair of earbuds. I will be reaching out to you on Instagram, and I'll mail them out to you. So congratulations. I will be doing more giveaways in the future. That went really well. I got like over 200 comments on that Instagram post, so that was really cool. And I've got some other products on the shelf here that are eligible for a giveaway. So maybe I'll do another one next week. Yeah, I'll probably do one next week. So keep an eye on the Instagram page for that, because I enjoy giving stuff away. It's kind of fun. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah. Okay. So I've got pre-orders for my new hat, the Chase the Summit trucker hat. I'll show you that here. A bunch of you guys already ordered them. Like, I sold a lot of them. I'm really excited about how many sold. I actually had to double my order because I ran out just in the pre-order. So I've got more coming in, so there'll be more in stock. I know a lot of you are concerned about the amount of time it's been since you've placed your pre-order, and I totally apologize for that. What happened is FedEx got it like stuck in China. They were fabricated in China, and they were like stuck in customs for 2 weeks. So they're finally released. The delivery date was actually today, and I was so hoping I could wear the hat for this live stream, but it hasn't been delivered yet. It actually says out for delivery on FedEx right now. So if I hear a knock on my office door, maybe it'll happen during the stream. That'd be really cool. But not yet, but you can still pre-order. I've got plenty left in stock. They're super awesome. They're so cool looking. They've got the little mountain emblem, and I'm very, very excited because I'll be wearing it all the time. Yeah, So with those two items out of the way, what else do I want to talk about? Let's bring up the main camera. Huh? I'll get the hang of this eventually, guys. Here, let's hop in the chat and see who we got in the chat. Okay, we've got a whole bunch of people. Holy smokes! Oh, I'm still playing music. Does the music bother you guys, or is it soothing? Maybe I'll just turn it down a little bit. Okay, so we've got. Oh, that's way too small. The chat has resized itself. There we go. Nathan Cook, thanks for joining me. Thanks for letting me know it's working. Appreciate it. Happy New Year, man. Everything looks good. Thanks, Francisco. Appreciate it. Video and audio work okay. Happy New Year from Fitchburg, Mass. Cool. Not too far from me. Everything clear. Bay Area, California. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Green River, Wyoming. Awesome. Thank you for joining. The video and audio looks great. Awesome. Thank you. Henderson, Nevada. Awesome. Sounds are great. Kingfield, Maine. Awesome. How's the weather up there right now? Sup? Not much. We're just doing our live thing. Milan, Italy. Awesome. I love when we've got international viewers. Thanks for joining. Happy New Year from Connecticut. Happy New Year to you. Cork, Ireland. Hi from Montreal. Boise, Idaho. Michigan, Vancouver, Poland. Wow, people all over the world. Central America. Awesome. Happy New Year. Oh, we've got some Greek. I wish I could read it, but I can't. A lot of people see my tattoo that I've got here, and they assume that I can speak the language. I can't. It's a memorial tattoo. So I love Greece. I have family in Greece, but I don't speak it, unfortunately. Germany, stoked for your pronunciation. Interesting. Happy New Year. Oh, wait, you want me to try to read that? Let's go for it. Dusseldorf. Did I get it? That's my Boston accent trying to read German. Dusseldorf. Happy New Year from Slovakia. Awesome. Israel. Awesome. Your favorite video to make this year? Oh, that's a good question. We'll jump right back to that. Keep up the good work, man. Thank you, Justin. I really appreciate that. Ryan Clayton in the house. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining, Ryan. Matt Rivers from Jamaica Plain. Awesome. Another neighbor. St. Paul, Minnesota. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Slovenia. Ryan, hi from Mars. You are from Mars. Happy New Year from Taiwan. Awesome. Taiwan. Wow, that's a stretch. I never thought I'd have viewers in Taiwan. That's awesome. Let's jump back to Francisco. I've got some other topics I want to talk about today. We've got a whole bunch of, let me just show you real quick. I've got like every watch released. Let me zoom in a little bit because you're seeing my whole setup here. There we go. So we've got my whole collection of watches that were released in 2020. I don't have every watch that was released in 2020, obviously, but I have quite a solid collection going on, including the brand new Wahoo Rival that just came out. I got this yesterday and I took it on my first run today, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But I really just wanted to kind of hop through all of the releases this year and just share like a high level opinion on them, because I thought that might be kind of fun. Year in review, kind of wrap it all up. I also want to talk about my goals for 2021, what I'm planning on doing next year, and we'll go from there. So let's jump back to Francisco's question here. Your favorite video to make this year? Let's see. The favorite video to make this year. I'm gonna go with the vlog video I just posted of me running in the snow like a week ago. That or the trail vlogging videos. Those were a lot of fun. They didn't get the most views, obviously. They only, they didn't perform as well as like a Garmin or whatever watch. But they're just a ton of fun to make, and I enjoy doing them. And that's why I do them, because I'm certainly not getting rich off them. But I like doing them. I feel like it's a way of connecting with you guys, and the comments are always really supportive. So I really enjoy making those videos. Thank you for the question. If you have a question, please comment or chat, and I will put you on screen and we'll talk about it. Okay, let's go back to the chat real quick. Fabian M, close. Are we talking distance-wise? Yeah. Jeff LeBlanc, thanks for joining, man. Is your back still jacked up? Great question. Let's try to fix the chat a little bit here. It is and it isn't. It's really weird. So I've been doing, I don't know if you've followed the channel at all, but I've been doing a run every day challenge where I'm trying to run some distance every day. Maybe not like really big miles every day, but a couple of miles every day. So I've been trying to at minimum do a 50 or 5K every day, but it has turned into maybe 1 or 2 miles on certain days if I'm super busy. But my back is like, it goes back and forth. Basically, like if I do a long run, the next day it'll be sore, but it's not so sore that I can't run. So typically after the long run day, I'll do like that 2 mile day at a really easy pace just to check the box that I actually got outside and ran. But it's definitely getting better. And I can't tell if it's the injection. I got like a corticosteroid injection, and I can't tell if it's that or just like me trying to get back into the groove. I've also been doing like structured workouts lately, which I think is helping a lot. I usually don't structure my workouts when I do running. But lately I've been doing like sets and doing stuff on the treadmill with the iFit account. And that's been fun, and it seems productive because I always just run like, all right, let's go do my 8-minute pace for 2 hours and see what happens. And that I don't know how productive that is long-term. So I've been trying to switch it up a little bit. And that seems to be helping. So hopefully, fingers crossed, the back mends itself before the springtime, because that's when I really want to hit it hard for all the races and everything. Hopefully that happens next year. Let me know if Tark is going to be racing next year, because I'll certainly want to be there. Thanks for the question, Jeff. Happy New Year from Anush. Thank you. From India. Awesome. G Ed, hi from Wales. Happy New Year, Dave. G Ed, you just reminded me of something that we'll hop back to. Actually, let's just do it right now. If you haven't noticed yet, down below there is a join button on my channel now, and that is the channel memberships. So for a couple bucks a month, you help support the channel, and we are right on the verge of getting enough members where I will be producing exclusive content for the members only. So I'll be doing live streams maybe once a week, maybe more, I don't know, but I'll be doing live streams like once a week for all of the members, and it'll just be like one-on-one chats with you guys in a much smaller audience, where if you have questions about specific devices or like what you want to, what you should buy or how you should train. I'm not a coach, but we could talk through it a little bit. Yeah, that would be cool. So if you join, I send you out a free sticker. So stickers are typically $2 or $3. They're awesome. They look like this. They're holographic. There's a link for these in the description as well. And so for all members get a free sticker. And if you haven't claimed your free sticker yet, let me know, because memberships are weird. Like YouTube doesn't give me a notification that a member joined, and I really want that notification. So I have to like check every day to see if more people joined. And then I try to get in touch with them because I don't have their address automatically. So I have to send out a message and try to get in touch with them. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been trying to make more exclusive content, and now we're getting enough people in the membership where it might even be a daily live stream, like just from my webcam on my laptop, and maybe not full-blown studio mode, but just one-on-one. I also want to thank the members. G Ed, he just joined. We've got Every Step You Climbed, Kate Gelato, a friend of mine, thank you for supporting me, Dale Jane, Pedro Soriano, Phil Wiseman, Abdur Rahim, Christian Havadam, and Bryce Norton Henley. I really appreciate all of you guys supporting me. Really means a lot, and thank you. I also want to talk about 2020 YouTube stats. Like, you guys can't see my back end. That was a weird sentence to say out loud. You guys can't see my YouTube like analytics. So yeah, so in 2020, I've got, this isn't like tooting my own horn. It's just like amazing the numbers that I'm seeing here, because these are numbers. When I started this channel, I was like, maybe I'll get 100 subscribers. Maybe I'll meet some friends. It could just be a fun thing. And that's all it is still. I enjoy making these videos, but it's become like crazy with the numbers. So right now in 2020, all 365 days, I've got 2.7 million views on the channel. I posted 112 videos, and in the last 30 days, got 350,000 views. And I've responded, get this, I've responded to 4,900 comments that you guys have sent me. It's totally crazy. I can't believe I've typed that many comments on my YouTube channel. But I just want to thank you guys for making that happen. Like, it's crazy. It's really been a wild ride, and I'm looking forward to 2021 and what that brings to the channel. Yeah, it's been fun. So yeah, let's go to the chat here again. Let me jump back. You guys are talking. Okay. Okay. Happy New Year 2021 from Shanghai, China. Awesome. Have you plotted your course out of here when you have you plotted your course out of here when the whole thing implodes? You know, JC, I am optimistic that 2021 is going to be a good year for us as a whole. You know, a lot of bad stuff happened in 2020, but there was a lot of good stuff too. Like, I feel like people came together, you know, there's a lot of camaraderie. Even though we couldn't race, there's a lot of people trying to support each other. I know that personally, you know, the YouTube channel, people really, when I talked about injuries and stuff, everyone was very caring. They even reached out an email and Instagram DMs and all that. And, you know, it was really heartwarming. So it's good to see like the greater good come out of this, even though so much bad happened in 2020. So I am optimistic. Let's hope for the best, right? Hi, Dave from the UK. Ended up with the Garmin HRM Pro. Haha, thanks for the advice. Nerding out on all of the data. Yeah. Yeah, you can really get in deep with the HRM Pro. You've got running power and the running dynamics, the ground contact time, and your left and right balance. And, you know, I love the data, but I also wonder how useful the data is sometimes. Like, are we getting in too deep, you know? But that's my job as a YouTuber, right? to get in too deep. I really enjoy running power. That's really the most valuable asset to me, but yeah. Happy New Year's. Just did New Year's with the kiddos. New Year's. What's that? Oh, Noon Year's. Okay, that's cool. I did 365 days of running in 2017. I run at least 1 mile a day. I varied about 30 miles a week. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm doing like between 30 and 40, but I'm hoping to, as long as my injury stays at bay. I don't know if you haven't heard, I jacked up my sacral iliac joint in my back, and so that's been barking a little bit. So I'm trying to take it easy coming back full speed. So I'm adding, you know, 10%, 15% to my mileage every week in intensity. So I'm trying to, I want to get back into that like 50, 60 mile week zone, but hopefully I kind of push, I don't want to get too greedy. I'm going to push it out till the spring, you know, something like that. Let me just take a real sip. Quick sip. G Ed says you definitely won't regret it. I think he's talking about the HRM Pro. Yeah, it's a great chest strap. I will say the one I go to the most, I don't know if I have it near me, is the Polar H9 chest strap that doesn't do any of the fancy data. It only does the heart rate, but it's so affordable and it's so comfortable for me to wear. So I reach for that pretty often, even though the HRM Pro, if you have a Garmin, is like the best you can get. Jeff LeBlanc, I've been digging Zwift on the treadmill. You know, I tried that. I think it was my setup because it looks like I've seen people on YouTube do it. I actually considered doing a Zwift run live stream and setting up a camera running while talking. I don't know. That would be pretty ugly, but I might give it a shot. If you want to see that, let me know. But I did try Zwift and I had fun with it, but I don't know. I was using my phone and I feel like the phone screen's way too small for it. So maybe I need like a tablet or like maybe a laptop stand or something, and I could stick my MacBook up there or something. That would probably be a lot funner. Or maybe if I knew people on it, because I don't know anybody on Zwift. So that would be cool. You know, it'd be a lot of fun is if I could get like another YouTuber to live stream and Zwift with me, and we could share the Zwift and the cameras. that'd be pretty cool. Do you use it on a tablet, Jeff, or are you on like a laptop or something? Kate Gelato, thanks for joining. 8-minute pace, you're so speedy. Yeah, we're talking road running, Kate. I'm not an 8-minute pace trail runner. Had a coach say strong core body. Most back issues come from core weakness. Totally true. And that's something I tend to I'm an ultra runner, right? I'm a trail and ultra runner. So I get my core strength from running on trails and training on trails because I don't like do core workouts in my living room, and I should, because during the pandemic, I was running indoors a lot more. I was running on roads a lot more, like locally, and way less time on the trail. So I didn't get as much vert. There wasn't as much like variation in terrain, which plays a role in how often you're engaging your core. So lately I've been like, intentionally engaging my core, like as I'm running, I consciously thinking, oh, I should be like, kind of like vacuum pumping my stomach a little bit to keep everything kind of like tight. And I think that's helping. And also I've been focusing on my posture a lot more because, again, as an ultra runner, you kind of fall into, I'm a middle of the pack, kind of guy. So when you're in that zone and you're kind of tired and you're long miles, you might hunch over a little bit, and that posture, leaning forward, is not good for your back, especially when you're doing really long runs. So I've been really trying to focus on like running efficiency, dynamics, and, I think Tommy Rivs, I talk about him all the time because I do his iFit workouts. So Tommy Rivs, he always says you want to make sure all of your motion's intentionally moving forward, right? Like even your arms. If you're running and you like do this motion, you've got a lot of movement going on that your heart, your cardio system's supporting, and it's not moving you forward, right? So you want to make sure all of your motion is like in that forward progression. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's kind of how I understood it. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call and it's buzzing on my table. Okay. Jeff LeBlanc OnlyFans is not like with the like, I don't know how to say it. I don't know. I went on that page once and it was uncomfortable. It felt very adult material. I didn't search for it specifically, but there were some interesting profiles on there for, $30 a month. You can get some interesting emails. Ben Littler says, Ed, you're telling me completely different results from the Fenix 6 wrist-based. Yeah, the Fenix 6, while being an awesome watch, it doesn't have the greatest heart rate sensor, especially, I don't know if you saw my video from this morning, but I posted a video about the 6S, the small one, and that one actually gets better heart rate data. So I think the size of the watch, is directly correlated to the heart rate accuracy. Because if you imagine you've got the Instinct Solar, the Garmin Instinct Solar, this is a 55 gram watch, I want to say maybe 50 gram. And then you've got the Coros Pace 2, right? 28 grams. So when you run with these two watches, they're going to jiggle in different ways. And I think the less jiggle on your wrist, the better the heart rate accuracy. And I feel like that's why the 6X and the 6 have such a hard time with heart rate readings. And even something like the Suunto 7, but that's my theory. G Ed, I joined. I haven't got my sticker yet. I will go back. It'll go on the back of my Land Rover. Hey, G Ed. So if you go to the community tab on my YouTube channel and scroll down, you'll see a post where it tells you how to get your free sticker. You actually add it to your cart in my merch shop, and you put a coupon code in, and it gives you a free sticker. So go do that now, and I'll ship it out maybe today, maybe tomorrow, although tomorrow's New Year's Day. So probably not tomorrow, but I'll try to get it in the mail as soon as possible. Ivan Cleesh. Yeah, we'll go with that. You have great content. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Ivan. Loris Drago. Great, man. This is devotion and passion. Thank you so much. Terror Sabbath. That's a pretty rad name you got there. Your video today on the Fenix 6S was something I always thought about, was never brave enough to say. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, like when I was filming that, and I had the idea for the video, I was like, I wonder if people are gonna like give me thumbs down on this because of, I don't know. It just always seems weird to me how like certain products are like, oh, women would love this. Well, what if a guy likes it? Like, is that bad? I don't know. It's different than if a woman wore a Fenix 6X, right? Because there's nothing, it's kind of cool. I respect that. But like when a guy wears a, something that seems to be marketed towards women, it just feels like your manliness is kind of in check. I don't know. It's a weird thing. And honestly, like they're all Fenix 6s and they all share the same features and they all look kind of the same. So why like put a gender, category on one of those variations of that product? I thought that was always weird. So thank you. Appreciate that because it was kind of a weird thing to film, to be honest with you. Ed, there's loads, good vibes. Next year's training is going to be fun. Very specific. Looking forward to my 50K race. Awesome. Dang, work conference call getting in the way of me watching your live stream. That's okay, Matt. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I'm surprised that Garmin Fenix 6S, start to get some phone interference there. I'm surprised Garmin Fenix 6S wins 2020. I'm actually going to get into that in a little bit about the watches. We're going to talk about what the most exciting device for me was in 2020. We'll do that soon. Let me just get through the rest of these chats and we'll get into it. Hi, Dave. The channel is awesome. Over all the sports tech, give us your advice or motivation at 2021. What is driving you to do what you do? Driving me to make the videos or driving me to run or all of it? Because there's different answers for different things. I'm not sure. Happy New Year from Greece. Hey, thank you very much. Jeff LeBlanc. Yeah, I use an iPad for Zwift. Oh, that's cool. I need to invest in an iPad because the phone it's not very fun. It's like you're squinting and kind of looking. I should just like prop my laptop up. I think that might be the best way to go about it. Phone was too small for the treadmill, automatically sends the speed data into Zwift and then records mile splits into Strava. I wish it would sync my incline invert stats though. Oh yeah, that was another issue I had with it. My Nordic track, even though it's like one of the high-end Nordic tracks, doesn't sync with iFit, so I had to use a foot pod in my watch for heart rate and pair that with Zwift. So it wasn't like, it was kind of clunky. There was a few pieces to getting it set up. So I just kind of abandoned it after a while. It was just easier to run without it. Cool. You got a lot of conversation in the chat. Love the new hat. Just ordered one. Awesome. Justin K. In case you're new to the live stream, just going to share that one more time. Shameless plug. Hats are now available for pre-order. There's still some left. A whole bunch of you guys bought them already, so I'm super pumped to get them out to you. Shipping was delayed by FedEx because of something happened on the border between China and I don't know. But I emailed them like 20 times and they finally fixed it. So now it's in transit. It's supposed to be delivered today, and I can't wait to pack all the boxes and send them out to you. Thanks for ordering. Appreciate it. Kate Gelato, my husband does Zwift. We bought a TV with an HDMI hookup and it connects to the phone. Oh, that is a good idea. I should try that. Yeah, because I could probably hook my iPhone 12 up to a small TV and mount it in front of my treadmill. Good idea. Goku Runner. There you are. I like the new live stream setup. Hey, thank you. This is a whole new studio, actually. I'm not in my house anymore. I'm like a half a mile down the road. So it's a little quieter here, although there's traffic because I'm like right on a main road. There's a little bit of traffic. In front of me, I have it's like a blanket fort in here. I've got moving blankets all over the walls because it's like sound deadening material. It's kind of weird looking. So I think it makes me sound better, so it's totally worth it. So what watch are you featuring today? Great setup, by the way. I'm going to feature everything from 2020, and we're going to get to that super shortly, I promise. Dave, Happy New Year. Thanks for the great content. I can't watch this live. Closing this year with a half as I type it. With a half marathon as I type this. Happy New Year to all. Awesome. Enjoy your run, man. Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to all of you that are watching right now. All 54 of you. Cool. Any good training resources for starting a trail run? Front-loaded climbs are kicking my butt. Yeah, so a big thing for me, like when I transitioned to trail running, was accepting that it's okay to walk. Something like if you're a road runner and you're getting into trail, immediately you feel like you get your ass kicked because it's like the steep hills, they get you. And it happened for me too. So just accept that you have to walk a little bit, and eventually once you walk enough hills and you do repeats and stuff like that, you'll do a lot better. Up hills, you'll start running up the hills eventually. So hope that helps. Hi from the UK, just been given time and limited free pass to go for a run, so going to have to watch this later. Keep up the great work. Awesome, thanks for joining. Enjoy your run. Hi everybody, I made it. My first live stream. Hey, welcome joining. Josie, thanks for so many videos and motivation. This channel is one of the best discoveries on YouTube this year. Keep up the great work. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, that was Jose. I got these two names confused. We got Jose, and then we've got Josie right after Jose. You are so right about the gender thing. I'm a woman and I have a Gunmetal Gray Vivo Active 3. Yeah, like you should have that. Congratulations. Thanks for joining. Maddie just completed 3 years of running each day. Wow, that's awesome. Minimum of 1 mile a day. Hit 3,000 plus miles this year. That's incredible, man. Congratulations. Running changed my life, and channels like yours keep me motivated. Awesome. Happy New Year from South Africa. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for joining. Ooh, the watch I'm wearing. Let me show you. Actually, I'll jump right back to you. How do you, there we go. How do you like Garmin mapping? And Happy New Year from the Czech Republic. So Garmin mapping is the best in my opinion because no other watches really do it. You can get Garmin mapping on something like the Suunto 7, like I have here, but it's pretty limited because you have to like have the foresight to pre-download the map to your watch to have it available for your run. You can also use something like the Apple Watch with an app to do mapping. But in my opinion, I think that the Garmin Fenix 6, the 945, just do it the best. And even like the 5 Plus has mapping. If you don't need long battery life, that's a really good option as well. All right, let's get into these watches because that's why you guys are here, right? Let's get into it. So let's cover 2020 year in review of watches. I'm not going to do this in order because I didn't put them in order on the table and I got here too late. That's why I had to push this live stream out by 30 minutes. Oh, let's see if I can get my head in the corner here. How do I do that? Did I do it? No. Dave? Check. Nope. Oh, look at that. There I am. I'm in the corner. Do you see me? I can put myself down here or up here. Where do I look better? I like it down here. So we've got a few watches on the table here tonight. We are looking at, let's go from left to right. Yeah. So I'm going to do like, we're going to do a quick overview of the watch. And then I'm going to tell you like 5 facts I love and hate about it. Does that make sense? Is that a good format? Yeah. Let's wing it. So we're going to go from left to right. I'm going to try to loosely structure this in order of when they were released, but it's probably not going to happen because I'm not that good. Okay, let me take the one off my wrist to include that. And let me zoom out a little bit because it's a little zoomed in there. There we go. That looks good. Okay. And, I'll throw my stickers up here in the corner for a shameless plug. If you want one, link in the description. Okay. So let's go from left to right. Actually, I'll answer your question first, and then I'll go from left to right. The watch I'm wearing right now is let's get the light on it. This is the Wahoo Elemnt Rival. This arrived in my mailbox yesterday, which I was very excited about. This is Wahoo's first entry to the like fitness wearable tech kind of thing. They're known for their like bike trainers and chest heart rate straps and things like that. But this is their first like GPS smartwatch. And I'm filming a whole review on it. I actually took it for its first run today. So the review will probably be out maybe late next week or 2 weeks from now. But I'm pretty excited about it. It's an interesting device. I'm just going to give you the bullet points on this this live stream. I guess we should zoom in again because I can't hold this thing up high enough. There we go. Okay, so the weird thing about this is, they're new to this, right? So it's missing some core functionality that we're used to on like a Garmin. And I've noticed that like basic stuff is missing. Like I can't adjust the backlight color brightness on this watch, and it doesn't seem to like self-adjust. So even right now I'm kind of giving you a hard time viewing it. So it's got that like monochromatic display similar to a Garmin. And all of the fields are kind of preset. Again, this is my first day with it, so I'm not going to tell you too much on it. I will say that it's strikingly similar to a Garmin Fenix 6, like everything about it. The bezel, it's really nice looking, but the name is funny, right? It's called the Elemnt Rival, and it's for pretty obvious reasons, I think, because it looks strikingly similar to a Garmin Fenix 6. And, for good reason, because the Fenix 6 is a very popular device, and Wahoo knew that. So they tried their best, and so did, other brands like Coros. When they came out with the Coros Apex Pro, that was basically a Fenix 6, right? And here we have Wahoo trying to do the same thing. But, I'll talk more about this in the full video, but that's the watch I'm wearing right now. I'm going to go ahead and hide the chat for one moment so we can see more of the watches. All right, let's go left to right. On the left here, I've got the Garmin Instinct Solar. I posted a review video about this. This watch comes in at $400, and I was surprisingly pleased with this watch. I wasn't expecting a lot because honestly, the first Garmin Instinct wasn't my favorite watch. It was pretty limited in battery life and also in terms of features and GPS accuracy. So, as a whole, it wasn't a great GPS or outdoors watch in my opinion. However, this watch, it looks almost identical to the first Instinct, but it performs way better. It's got way better battery life, up to 30 hours in GPS mode, a couple of weeks in standby time. And then if you get it in the sun and you activate the solar panel, you can actually get unlimited battery life. This can last forever, literally. Like if you're on a desert island on the beach, this watch will never run out of battery as long as you keep it in that like low power essential mode. So that's pretty amazing. And then in regular day-to-day life, if you just get a couple hours of sunlight every day, it will last for a couple of months. And that's pretty awesome as well. So, overall, a really nice watch. And I thought I was going to hate it, but I actually really enjoy it because it's so simple. It kind of reminds me, it's like Garmin's version of a Coros. It's almost like Garmin tried to copy Coros because it just does what it's supposed to do. It works really well. It covers all the bases, and it even has things like course navigation. It's got, navigation tools. You can display your location, your latitude and longitude. It's just a really well-rounded outdoor watch. Now, would I recommend this for a trail runner or a road runner? No. But for somebody who hikes, maybe you're a climber, an alpinist, this thing is hard to beat, especially with that crazy battery life. Okay, next up on the table is another one that I actually just recently received. This is the Garmin Venu SQ. And the Venu SQ is a square looking device, as you can see, and it's got a striking resemblance to the Apple Watch, as you can see here. I mean, very striking. So, it's quite a thing they did here. I think their intent is pretty obvious with this one. I've been wearing this for a little over a week now. Sorry, there's a truck backing up outside my window now. There's not much to dislike about this. It's basically like a slimmed down Forerunner with a lot of other tools on board that you don't typically find on a just straight up smartwatch, but it also has the benefit of having this really nice and bright LCD that is really responsive. You can kind of flip through pages. It shows my run from earlier today, which is why I was late to this live stream, 6-mile run. And it's just a really nice experience. I've been really enjoying this. And actually, I considered making this my daily driver just because of how low profile, small. It's a good looking watch as well. It doesn't scream for attention, which is kind of my style. So this guy retails for so it's $200. I believe it's on sale right now, but it's $200. And if you want the music on board, it's $50 more, so $250. Overall, I really like this watch. It's been a great experience. So if you guys have any particular questions about these devices as a whole, then let me know in the comments and I'll get to them. I'm going to get through a few more watches and then we'll hop back in the comments and we'll kind of go back and forth and we'll see how it goes. Is this good content? What? There's a big bang outside. You guys hear that? Okay, next watch on the table. Bingo bango. Let's keep moving, huh? Actually, this watch was not released. This is the watch I posted a video about this morning. This is the Fenix 6S, and it's officially my new favorite watch. Of course, I will be wearing other watches. Of course, that's kind of my job here. But I really like this thing, and mainly just it's so low profile. Like, it's such a teeny little thing. And on my wrist, I think a lot of people ask my wrist size. I think I have like 165 millimeter wrist, which I think is like an average man's wrist. I think it fits me well. And I'm used to big watches, but this is kind of a breath of fresh air. You get all those premium features and such a nice little, compact watch. I really like that. But not from 2020. So disregard that one. Let's move it away from the table. Okay, next one up. I'm going to save this one for a little bit later because I have a special talk about that one. We've already talked about these three. The next one up is the TicWatch Pro 3. And it's dead right now. Is it dead? Yes, the battery's dead. I did not charge. I frantically tried to recharge all these today for the video. They're mostly all recharged, but a couple of them missed the cut. So the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS is a Wear OS device that I was quite surprised with. TicWatch reached out to me and they're like, hey, do you want to try this? It's got a Snapdragon 4100 processor and blah, blah, blah. I didn't really know what to expect. I'm not really like a Wear OS aficionado. So like my impression of Wear OS is it's kind of for cheap watches that you find on Amazon or like, overseas or something like that on that like $50 to $60 smartwatch. And that's just not my style. So, not to say I'm a snob or anything. I just I like quality stuff. Although if there was a cheap version that was really awesome, I would enjoy that as well. It would be good to have an affordable option. And I've tried some cheap ones and they're not very good so far, but I'm still looking. I might buy a bunch of the cheapest watches on Amazon and just give them a go and make a video about it. Anyways, the TicWatch Pro 3, when I first saw the email, I was like, nah, I don't know. But after using it, it really puts some pressure on the Apple Watch because it's got a very competitive price point. It does a lot of the same things of the Apple Watch, but it looks more like a watchy watch, which is kind of good for some people. I actually really like the band on this. It looks like leather, but it's actually rubber and it's stretchy, which is really cool. I wish other brands did this. Actually, it's a quick release, so I could put this on some of my other watches. But it does a lot of what Apple Watch does, just in a round device that has better battery life. So this guy can get like 2 days, 2 to 3 days, whereas the Apple Watch I had to charge daily, especially if I was running with. So TicWatch Pro 3 actually surprised me, and actually surprisingly good GPS and heart rate data. Was not expecting that. So that's the TicWatch Pro 3 that also was released in 2020. Next up, we've got the Apple Watch. Let me secretly put my password in. Next, we've got the Apple Watch SE. I did a video about this a couple of months ago when it launched, and this is another device I was pretty surprised about because I wasn't expecting to like it. Honestly, I'm not an Apple fanboy. I have a MacBook Pro computer now that's actually kind of new, but there's just something about Apple. I've always been like an Android user, so by nature, Android people are like, no way, I'm never buying Apple stuff, even though now I have an Apple iPhone. I contradict myself. I try to stay fresh, okay? So the Apple Watch is not something I thought was going to be good, but after using it, and there's a lot of people out there, friends that use them, and they always tell me, you gotta try it, man. But after using it, I've actually come to really enjoy it, and specifically because there's one app called Work Outdoors, this one here. I did a whole video about this app, about 4 apps that I particularly use. But the Apple Watch became really powerful because now you've got mapping on board. You've got all this data that you don't get. See, there's the map. I probably shouldn't show that actually. It's giving away my location. But it's got all of this powerful data on board that you don't typically get unless you buy a fitness watch. And now with this app, you get a lot more. So Apple Watch was a win in my book, the SE. The only thing that was kind of weird about it was the heart rate data. It was kind of funky. It took a while to warm up. The stats at the beginning of like the first mile of my run would be kind of low, and then they kind of stabilize after that. But overall, like usable, just not super accurate. You can always pair an external sensor with it, so there's that. Okay, the next up is the Polar Unite, and this is a watch I received back in July, I think. Polar sent this out to me to review. Honestly, this is not, I'll just say it's not a runner's watch. This is really a wellness tracking device. I think right now they retail for like $130. So that's value proposition right there. And I think this would also make for a real nice companion to something like the Polar Vantage V2. So if you're somebody like me who likes smaller watches and you want all of the tools and data that comes from a Polar Vantage V2, but you don't want to wear it to work or like go about your everyday life, or maybe you're worried about scratching it and you don't want to wear something so valuable on your wrist all the time, that's where, something like the Polar Unite for like going to work and just kind of casual, tracking steps, heart rate, sleep, this little thing will do all that stuff really well. Because Polar Flow, I did a whole ecosystem video last week, go watch that if you haven't yet, is an awesome platform. And having two watches in Polar Flow is very seamless. Like you kind of just pick one up and start using it. All the data gets funneled up to the cloud and you don't even have to think about it. It's very seamless, and multi-device support is really good on Polar. So if you're somebody who wanted like a companion app for your larger Polar device, like a Grit X or the Vantage V2, the Unite is a great option. It's got an LCD screen and not like a dull screen. So reading texts on it is much better than something like the Vantage V2. And it's got a touch screen, so you can just kind of swipe up and down. Again, it's dead. Sorry, battery's dead. But it's a cheap little watch that does a lot of wellness tracking. You can run with it, but it doesn't have an internal GPS chip, so you have to carry your phone with you, which I don't know. I carry my phone anyway, but for a lot of people, I think that's probably a deal breaker. So, it is what it is. It's designed for a specific person. Now, with that in mind, we'll talk about another device that's almost in that price category that can do a lot more. While we're on the topic, though, let's talk about the Vantage V2. This is a device I received from Polar pretty recently, and I've had mixed feelings on it. It's been overall a pretty rock solid performer. It's got a really good heart rate sensor. Now, the thing that I struggle with is the heart rate sensor, like 99% of the time is very good, but that 1% of the time, like these huge spikes in the heart rate data just show up, and I don't know what they are. And I know other people that reviewed this watch have the same issue, so it's not just mine. And actually, this is my second Vantage V2 because my first one was a beta unit that just died. Like out of the blue, one day it just turned off. But again, that was a beta unit. It was not a production unit, so I'm not going to blame Polar for that. That said, though, it's an expensive watch, but it is really premium feeling. It's a metal chassis. It looks really nice. It comes in different colors and different bands. And it feels very high quality, but I do struggle with that price a little bit because of the other devices that exist on this table. Overall though, it's a good watch, but at $590, it's a stretch for me, mainly because the features on this, and we'll talk about this one right away because we're on the Polar subject. Mainly because the Polar Grit X that I have in my hand here, should I do overhead for this or no? The Polar Grit X here exists, and this watch is dead as well because I didn't charge it. It does 99% of the stuff that's in the Vantage V2, but for $70 less. And the only specific things that changed into Vantage V2 are like they built in these tests you can do, where you can do like a bunch of jumps and it'll test how fresh your legs are, or you can test your heart rate variability or your orthostatic recovery, which are cool tests. But like, I'm not a test guy. Like, I don't want to go out of my way to run tests routinely. I just look at my metrics, my data after the fact, and I hope my watch can aggregate it in a way that's digestible to me. which Polar is really good at. That's something I always give them kudos for. They spell it out in plain English. They don't throw numbers at you like your training load's 1200, your VO2 max is this. They actually just tell you, hey, your fitness is good. You're running a little too much. Maybe you should cut back a little bit. Maybe you should do some mobility or some stretching. That's something Polar does. And I appreciate that. They make it easy for the user to get value from the data, which other brands struggle with, including Garmin, but they're getting better. Okay, so that's Polar in a nutshell. I love their devices. I think they have really cool designs. I think I like the Grit X design a bit more. It's a little bit more Fenix-y, although the Vantage V2 is really, it feels, even though the dimensions are almost the same, it feels very low profile. It's like, something about it just feels smaller. I think it's just because it has like rounded edges versus like the sharper edges. But overall, like, they're good devices, and if you're in the Polar ecosystem, they're totally worth the buy. Okay, next up. This one's a doozy. Let's talk about the Suunto 7. This is a device that I've had, and I think a lot of people will agree with me on this, mixed feelings about, because it's super exciting to see like this ruggedized, outdoor-oriented watch, but with this really pretty smartwatch, cover my face to make it work, with this really pretty display. It's a beautiful OLED display, and it works well. What I have a struggle with is the battery life is not good. Like it's similar to the Apple Watch in that you're charging daily. If you're a runner, if you're using it 1 hour a day, you're definitely charging daily. And that, for me, kind of just makes it not an outdoorsy watch, and it kind of makes it more of a smartwatch. And if you're talking about a smartwatch at this price point, I think it's around $400 right now on sale. I think the Apple Watch SE is more powerful, and it's $130 cheaper. So, I'm back and forth on it because it is, I want to make Suunto know that I like what they did here. I like the direction they were heading in, but I feel like they could have done it just a little bit better, or like tried to get more battery life out of it, or particular features that would make it a more compelling option, or like even a way to charge it on the go it was a little easier, because the charger for this is kind of bulky. If they came up with a way to wear it and charge it, or like a strap with a battery built in, I don't know. I'm shooting from the hip here, but there could have been a way to address it. One thing to know, though, is that the Suunto 7 is one of the few watches on this table, other than Garmin, that can do built-in mapping, and that is something I like, because not a lot of people are doing that. Not a lot of companies are putting mapping in their watches. That said, you do need to pre-download the area you're going to be in before you get there, or else the map won't be on the watch. And the maps are not routable, so you can't like click a location on the map and have the watch auto route you through trails or roads. You have to do that on your phone and then sync it over to the device itself. So something like the Fenix 6 or the 945 is still a more powerful navigation tool. But if you really loved the design of the Suunto 7 and you wanted it real bad, I would understand why. Like, it's a cool device. And I'm excited. Hopefully they recognize that there's potential here, and they come out with a Suunto 8 or something that scratches that itch of more battery life, outdoor features with a cool screen. And no one's doing that yet. When we talk about displays, you know what? Let's finish the watches, and then we'll talk about the other stuff, because I have a lot to say. I'm by myself here in this office. So I'm glad you guys are joining me. We got 80 people out there in the chat. So welcome. If you haven't yet, make sure you let me know where you're from. I'll bring it up on screen. If you have a question about any of these devices on the table, I've got just about every fitness oriented watch that was launched in 2019 and 2020 on hand. If you have a particular question about them, make sure you drop it in the chat. I would love to hear from you. Okay. So the final device, and this thing was like the most surprising release of 2020, in my opinion. Let me take another sip. I'm thirsty. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? I'm gonna give the crown I'm going to give the crown to the best release. I'm not going to say the best device, but I'm going to give the crown to the best release of 2020 to the Coros Pace 2. That's right. This $200 watch gets my vote for like the best value GPS smartwatch you can buy in 2020. If you have $200 in your pocket and you're a road runner, look no further, because this is it. This is what you should be buying. That said, it's got some downsides. Oh yeah, I also want to mention everything in this video I will have linked down in the description. So if you're interested in picking any of these up, make sure you go down in the description and click that link, because those are affiliate links. They help support my channel. I get a little commission if you pick one up, and appreciate it, because I got to pay the rent on this this building. So help me keep doing what I'm doing. Okay, so the Pace 2. This watch really surprised me because I didn't expect a value option from Coros. They started going down this path of the Apex Pro being $500, the Vertex being $600. And while they're really unique and cool devices, they're just not, I feel like Coros just wasn't mature enough with their ecosystem and their app and everything to launch a $600 watch. It didn't make sense to me. Especially when I opened the case of the Vertex and there was a flight case, like a plastic lidded waterproof flight case in there with the watch in it. And I'm like, what the heck is this? It made the unboxing experience actually really cool. I took it out of the box. I was like, wow, that's a unique unboxing experience. I'll give them that. But then I thought about it further and I'm like, this watch is $600. It feels a little pricey as it is. If they just didn't do that box, if they left the flight case out, and if that box added $20 to the cost, it would have made the Vertex a $400 or a $579 watch. And every dollar they could shave off that price would have helped my opinion about that watch, because I like it. I like the Vertex. The battery life is like mind-blowing. Like even the solar stuff from Garmin can't even compare to what they're doing without solar. You can have that thing on your shelf for like half a year and battery won't die. So really cool device. But when you look at Coros, when you look at their software, their ecosystem, the Pace 2 that costs $200 that I'm holding in my hand right now can do like 95%. No, I won't give it that. I'll say 85% of what the Vertex can do. And it's way smaller and it's way lighter. So the Vertex becomes a harder sell. And it's almost like they cannibalized some of their higher end stuff with this, but not totally. Because with this, as I mentioned, if you're a road runner, this is a great option. If you're a hiker, trail runner, climber, somebody who likes all of that other data or features, the Coros Pace 2 is not for you. Because there is no form of navigation on here. You can't load a course. There's no bearing. There's no arrow telling you in what direction to go. It is purely just a GPS tracker with running power from the wrist and all of that stuff that you really want as a road runner. But as a hiker, a trail runner, anybody who ventures off the grid into the backcountry, you're going to want something else. So I would caution you if you're looking at this as one of those other people, but wow, that's a loud truck outside. But as a running watch for road running and even trail running where you know the trails like urban trails, this is a great option. And it gets my top pick, my most value pick for 2020. So good job, Coros. I'm really impressed with what they did here in the price point, and I think they knew what they needed to do, because they saw the success with the Pace 1, that older watch, and then the Pace 2 was a successor to that in all the right ways. So well done with the Pace 2. Okay. Let me take a breath. That was a lot of talking. Let me take a sip of water here. Okay. We got almost 100 people in the chat. Welcome. If you haven't already, let me know where you're from. Let's dive into the chat. Let's see what's going on here. Goku Runner, thanks for joining. What are your favorite types of video to make? That really depends. I think I get really excited when I get pre-release devices, as anyone would. Like I got the the Garmin Forerunner 745, which I didn't talk about. I skipped that one. We'll jump back to that. So I got the Forerunner 745 2 days before launch day. Lucky me. And it was really tough to have a video out for like launch day, but it's really exciting when like a big company like Garmin like recognizes your YouTube channel and like, they send you stuff. That's really exciting for me. So I try to take it seriously and put a lot of effort into it. I hope that shows in the video and the work. And those kind of videos, because it's like a challenge, it's that short turnaround time. It's got to be good. You got to have good content in there. You got to have all the data. You have to go running with the thing. I think that's my most exciting video to make, but it's also the most stressful. If we're talking just pure fun, like vlogging, I like to go running and just talking to the cameras, talking to you guys, just like this. Like, I feel like I'm doing this, but out on the trail. Actually, I could probably do this on the trail, but it'd be kind of a struggle live streaming while running. But I enjoy like going on a little adventure and kind of talking to the camera and showing views and maybe sharing some of the local trails around here with people that don't live around here or in different environments and different kind of weather. That's really fun as well. In general, the channel is kind of like my creative outlet because I don't have a lot of other creative outlets in my life. So, getting the camera ready, and I like all the tech. I like, the mixers and the audio equipment and everything. So it's just all kind of fun for me. So I don't know if I answered your question, but thanks for watching. Matt LeGrand says, the Wahoo Elemnt Rival is lighter than the Fenix in a lot better price. Yeah, it is. I do like the aesthetics and the feel of it quite a bit. Does feel really nice. I do wish the back was metal, but I totally get it at the price point. So I'm still learning about this. We'll have to talk offline because I'm still learning about this. But it just feels like there's a ton of potential here, but the software like maybe isn't all the way there yet. So hopefully firmware updates start to really polish this thing up and make it a competitor. But it still feels really good, and my first run with it was actually good. Like I ran right before the stream with it 6 miles, and the GPS accuracy was pretty dead on as far as distance goes. I haven't like analyzed the track yet, but the distance reading was pretty good. So yeah, we'll talk. I'll post like I said, I'll have a full review about the Rival, the Elemnt Rival in about a week or two. I don't know, depending how much I can run with it. Yeah. I really like the look of that watch. Feels good on the wrist to me. Yeah. Got my Wahoo yesterday as well. Hey, cool. Looks like we're in the same tier of YouTubership with Wahoo. I think they were reluctant to send me the watch because I'm a runner primarily, and this is clearly designed for a triathlete, and I'm not a swimmer in the least bit. I could swim, but it's not something I enjoy doing, especially outdoors. So, yeah, it's definitely a triathlete watch, but I want to look at it like, could an ultra runner or a runner make use of this? And is it worth the price for someone like me? And I think that's why they were a little reluctant to send it to me, but I'm glad they did because I'm excited about it. I ordered and returned and reordered the Wahoo Rival. It is now my daily watch paired with a Polar Grid X on the other wrist. It does look great. It's light and it's very focused on sports. That's interesting that you're wearing two kind of large watches, but good for you. You're getting all the data. That's for sure. I gotta say that the heart rate data is working better than my first one too. Maybe a fast firmware update between the watches. So actually, when I loaded the app this morning, I took it out of the box and paired it with my phone this morning. It told me it had a firmware update, so I'm wondering if maybe that did something. Honestly, I haven't analyzed the data yet, but like I was wearing the Fenix 6S with the Rival when I ran today, and just glancing at the heart rate graph as I was moving, they appeared to be in the same ballpark. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's way off, but again, I could be totally wrong. And in my full review, I'll cover that in detail. I'll be looking at GPS accuracy, heart rate accuracy, all the standard stuff I typically do. Apart from an Apple Watch, do you know of any watches that caters to wheelchair users? Wow, that's a niche. And it shouldn't be a niche because, there's people out there who are athletic and in wheelchairs. So that's an interesting, yeah. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Although I think the closest thing that maybe you'd have the best luck with something like the TicWatch or the Suunto 7, because they have Wear OS, and that opens up some doors in terms of third-party applications. So that might be the best bet. But again, I'm not totally sure. Sorry, I couldn't answer that better. Keith Gelato, how do you remember all the different features? I'm impressed. Well, I've been doing it for a while. And genuinely, I'm passionate about this stuff. My full-time real job, we'll call it, is hardware engineering, design, mechanical engineering. So I'm a nerd at heart, and I like knowing the sensors and like all the little details about these things is kind of my bread and butter. And I think that's what makes me good at this. I don't know. Am I good at this? Thanks for the question. You can tell the Polar Grit X by that dirt magnet of a watch band. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I reviewed the Grit X, I thought the band was really cool because it looks like, I don't know if you haven't seen it yet, it's got this texture that almost comes off as being fabric. And I really at first I was like, wow, that's different and cool. But the more I owned it and used it, Goku Runner is totally right. This thing, like if you get sweaty enough, the salt from your sweat will get embedded in it and dirt just gets stuck in it. So I've been like scrubbing it with an SOS pad to keep it clean. It does look cool, but it is definitely a dirt magnet. That's because Dave is the man, Kate. Thanks, G. I'd appreciate that. I'll have to try the Apple Watch at some point. I could also program towards it. Yeah, it could be a useful tool for you in your day job. What is your favorite sport? I'll go with running. That's basically my only sport. Yeah. I mean, I used to do more biking and cycling. What's the proper term for that? Cycling? But I haven't in a long time. Open it over here. I really have too many hobbies. So if I like add a new thing, if I wanted to pick up like ping pong, I'd have to sacrifice something in my current life, which I'm not willing to do. So right now, my two main hobbies are YouTube, which I'm doing right now, and running. And aside from that, my day job, and aside from that, being a dad with 3 kids. That's my entire life in a nutshell. You guys are my only friends. I'm just kidding. But really, during the pandemic especially, I've been talking to this camera a lot more than I've been talking to real faces, which is good and bad. I've definitely gotten a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera, but yeah, I miss seeing people. I'm sure everyone does. I think Garmin is the best watch. I never listen to my watch when it tells me to rest. That's funny. The question is, do you ever get injured by not listening to your watch? Because there's times when I don't listen, but I should be. Ed, neither do I. Yeah, that's true. That watch is sexy. I don't know which one we were talking about, but thanks. Had to give up my Vertex because of the poor integration with Training Peaks, but they just fixed that. So their software updates are awesome, so I'm switching back. Yeah, the one thing, the main advantage to Coros is that they're so good at firmware updates. Like not only do they fix things that are broken, which are rare occasions for them, but they also add features. Like no other brand does that. They add features to the oldest watches on their lineup. Like the original Pace from 2 years ago got the latest update to have running power on your wrist. They've actually said publicly that they will always do that unless the watch physically, mechanically can't support the feature. You know, if they came out with a new, I don't know, running dynamics that need a specific gyroscope in the watch or something like that, then older watches wouldn't be able to support it. But aside from that, they'll always give it to everybody. And that's a great thing. Every brand should be doing that. And it's something that Polar needs to listen to, because they do the opposite. They come out with new devices like the Vantage V2 here, and they give this features that the Grit X doesn't have. These watches were released like 4 months apart, but they have features that differentiate them. Now, I understand this is a more expensive watch, so it needs to have things that make you pay more for it, and that makes sense. But there are also things like simple things like customizing the watch face or changing the colors that the Vantage V2 can do that the Grit X can't. And I feel like that's not so much a feature as like a firmware nicety. They should it should roll out to all of even the Polar Unite for $130 should have that ability if they figured it out for the V2. But if you're listening, Polar, that's just my take on it, because Coros is doing the opposite. They're just giving everybody everything. Garmin like kind of floats in the middle there, where they put their products in silos. They have the running watches being the Forerunners. They have the wellness watches being the Vivo Active and the Venu, and then they have the outdoor watches being the Instinct and the Fenix. And all of those three silos get different features in their firmware. They all share common things, but the outdoor watches will get things like course navigation, whereas the wellness ones will not get that. And then the runner stuff will get training tools like VO2 Max and training load. And then the Fenix watches will also get that, but the Vivo Active will not get that, because that's just a wellness watch for step tracking, calorie tracking, hydration tracking, things like that. And it would be cool to see them spread that out a little bit more, but they have so many products that I understand why they have to do it. But one thing I wish Garmin would do is take a Vivo Active body or a Venu body like this Venu SQ and put like all of the Garmin Fenix 6 stuff in it. I think that would be really fun. Like have a really vibrant display, but also have training tools, VO2 Max, training load, and mapping in a square watch that's small and has good battery life with a vibrant display. That I think would sell well. Anyways, that was a tangent on your comment, but thank you for chiming in. I would love to have the Suunto 7, but the battery life isn't great. Yeah, that's the Achilles heel. Seth Acton, hey man, we've run some races together. We ran a really hard 50 miler in 2019 together. Thanks for joining, Seth, and Happy New Year to you as well. Beaumont, Texas in the house. Thank you, Goku Runner. Bridgewater, New Jersey. Welcome. The Pace 2. Yeah, I'm catching up on my chat here. Hi from Lithuania. Thank you for joining. That's awesome. UK. Awesome. I'm from Malta, all the way on the other side of the Atlantic. Wow. What time is it in Malta? Agreed. I'm jealous of all those who have been able. I don't know what we were talking about, but I agree with you as well. You're in Poland. It's almost New Year here. Awesome. You're in the future and I'm in the past. Poland. Awesome. Hey. Thanks for joining. What's the battery life on that watch? Remind me of the watch because I'm way behind on the chat. I'm probably going to jump forward a little bit. Which is better for you, the Vantage V2 or the Forerunner 945? Personally, I would, if I had $500 in my pocket, I would probably buy the 945. It's got better standby battery life, although in GPS mode, the Vantage V2 is better, which is really weird. So the Forerunner 945, you got 2 weeks of battery life, like just as a daily driver. But in GPS mode, it only does, well, in GPS mode, you get 35 hours, which I'm not going to say only. That's a great amount of battery life. However, the Vantage V2 has about 4 to 5 days of standby time, which I never understood. I think it's something to do with their heart rate sensor on the back. And in GPS mode, it gets up to 40 hours, which is really good. So you get really awesome battery life, but like everyday like standby time. So The 945 also features mapping, which personally for me is very important. But if you're somebody who wants like the best training tool, like you listen to your watch when it tells you to rest, and you use it for working out and stuff like that, the Vantage V2 is probably a more powerful option for you because the Garmin isn't as good at that stuff. I hope that answers your question. I'm jealous of all those who found the Pace 2 at such a great price, considering I spent way too much on a Vertex last year. The Pace 2 is the premier budget smartwatch of 2020. Totally agree. Hi from the Netherlands. I've been using the Apple Watch for over a year, but your videos made decision by Fenix 6. No regrets so far. Battery life is great. That's like the real game changer. If you buy an Apple Watch as a Garmin user or like a Fenix 6 or a Coros user, you're going to be like, what the heck is this? I got to charge it every day. It drives me nuts. It's an awesome watch, don't get me wrong, but like charging daily drives me insane. The Fenix 5S Plus, any good? Yeah, for sure. My wife actually just bought one during like the Black Friday event where it dropped in price down to like $350. So she's wearing that every day. She got the white and gold one, so she loves that. It was a little bit of an adjustment for her because it's still kind of big compared to her old Vivo Active, but she's really enjoying it. You got mapping on board. You get the music on board. The only thing that's like so is battery life over time, especially like after a year of your battery being recharged over and over again, it will degrade quite a bit. So you won't have, after a year, you probably will struggle to get through a 50K. And, if you don't run 50Ks, then who cares? You could definitely run a marathon, probably indefinitely with that watch. I mean, depends how fast you run, but I think for most people, probably. I'd like the Pace 2 to be a bit bigger. If you want to gamble, you can get a $19 grab bag from Coros and possibly win gift cards anywhere. I saw that. That was such a weird, they're such a weird company. I applaud them for doing different things, but that was such a weird thing. Like, you can pay $19 and you might get a signed shirt from Sage Canada, or you might get a Vertex, or you get nothing, or like a sticker. Maybe everyone's getting stickers. Who knows? I mean, who's keeping them honest on that? Pretty interesting promotion they did. Excited to see if they add maps in the future to their devices. Me too. That's one thing. They could totally dominate the market, right? If Coros came out, and here's where they could charge a lot more money. The Coros Vertex 2, $799, onboard mapping, 60-hour battery life, 2 months of standby time, running power on the wrist. That would be a game changer if it had mapping. That would change everything. And Garmin they'd be quite scared because that would really light a fire under them. They would need to innovate because, Garmin is leading, I think, in my opinion, in terms of features and stuff, but they could easily be overthrown. I'm not a fanboy at all. Like, I'm cheering for all of these brands to do something innovative, push that envelope forward, because in the end, everybody in this chat is the winner, because all 82 of you are the winner, because we ultimately get the fruits of their labor. The cost goes down, the features go up. And if Coros came out with that watch, it would really light a fire under Garmin to drop the prices on the Fenix, or add maps to lower price devices, or innovate and put something entirely new on the watch. And that's something yet to be seen. I would also like to I would like to see Garmin totally revamp their software. Connect is good, but it's getting kind of stale. I think the UI has been the same way for a long time. I would like to see them maybe brush it up a little bit, make it feel a little bit more modern, because honestly, I think the Coros app even feels a little bit more modern. It's definitely lacking in features compared to Garmin, but the Garmin app is so overwhelming. The menus are just words and not a lot of icons. So it's really dense. And if you're not familiar with it, it can be kind of a system shock. Kind of a tangent there. Thanks for your question. Tips for non-reviewers on picking a watch and gear. For example, tips for prioritizing needs when we don't try them all. my only tip would be to watch my channel. Because I honestly, my reviews are from the heart. They are honest. I'll never take money to make a review. And if I do, I've considered sponsored brand videos, but they would be, if I ever post a sponsored video, it will be about something I genuinely like and use. And I'll state in the video that it's sponsored, of course. But yeah, you can only hope that people are telling the truth in these reviews. And I can speak from experience in actually talking with a lot of the YouTubers out there, like DC Rainmaker and DesFit and Ryan Clayton and Matt LeGrand that are in the chat right now. All of those guys and girls, most of the people I've spoken with are telling the truth in their videos. They're honest people, and they're genuinely trying to provide you with the information you need to make a buying decision. So whether it be a written blog, a video like this, I'd say that's the only way. Because unless you go to a store, which is even harder these days, and then you find a store that actually has all these watches, which is rare, right? Like not a lot of places will even have these on the shelves. Yeah, it's hard. In terms of other gear, like shoes and stuff, I would say maybe find a store with a really good return policy. Don't abuse the return policy, but put them on in your house, walk around your house a little bit, go up your stairs, and then try to find what fits, what size fits, what brand fits you, and then return the ones that don't, keeping them in mint, pristine condition, because you don't want to abuse that system. But I think that's the only way, especially in a pandemic when it makes it even harder. Hope that helps. Besides the Apple Watch, can any of these watches play Apple Music? On Garmin's website, it says you can download songs purchased from iTunes onto the watch, but not Apple Music. Nothing else, and I think this is an Apple limitation and not another brand's limitation. Nothing else integrates with Apple Music, unfortunately. I hate the barriers they put up on their ecosystem. Like with the Apple Watch, the only service that can do offline music with this is Apple Music. So if you're a Spotify user, you can't download the songs directly to the watch. I think it actually worked for a while, and then Apple made them remove it. So if you have an old version of the app, you can still do it, but the newest version took it out. And now it's just a remote control to your phone. But if you have Apple Music, you can sync offline music to the Apple Watch. Now, here's where things get interesting, and you'll hear about this in my full video. I've got the Garmin Venu SE SQ, the Garmin Venu, which it has the almost identical footprint of the Apple Watch. Let me turn this on so you can see. And this guy can do Spotify. It can do Amazon Music. It can do just straight up MP3s, but no Apple Music. But there are way more options in terms of offline music with this Garmin Venu SQ. And this is a dedicated sports watch. It's not like an Apple Watch or trying to be an Apple Watch, even though it looks very similar. I'll talk about that in the full review. We'll save that for that. But yeah, right now, the only thing is the Apple Watch, which stinks, I think. It's also why I'm a Spotify user. Lucas from Germany, welcome. Thanks for joining. The Huawei, I'm saying it right? Huawei GT2 looks pretty cool. I agree. Yeah, so it's interesting you say that. I tried to get a review sample from them and they didn't respond. I was hoping they would. I don't know why. It seems like it would be something. I also offered to send it back after, but they said no. So if it was compelling enough to me, I would buy it. I just don't feel like, I don't know, especially because it's kind of old. Well, not old, but like it's past the release date quite a bit. So I don't know how fresh the content would be. It does look cool though. And if you try it out, definitely let me know what you think of it. Cheers from Bolivia. Thank you for joining. Hi, Dave. Naren, from Naren, Scotland. That's awesome. Good to know how the channel is doing. You're putting out some great content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's your favorite Garmin watch face? That's an easy one. Everyone, it's so funny. Like when I post Fenix 6 videos, everyone's like, what watch face is that? And it's just the one that comes with it. This is the stock Garmin watch face, and I like to configure it. I've got my battery life up top, distance run this week down in the corner here, steps, and then the high and low for the weather here. And then I've got the sunset up in the top left here, and then the time and date. It's got everything I need, and it's a really nice, cool looking watch face. So that's my favorite. I'm not that unique in that I download a bunch of watch faces, but it's funny how many people ask what watch face that is in my videos, even though it's the one that comes on it out of the box. So that's my favorite. And if you want it on an older watch, you can get it. There's one on the Connect IQ store. It's called InfoCal. INFOCAL. It's free, and it looks just like the stock Fenix 6 watch face. How long have I been on the air? A long time, huh? I'm going to wrap it up soon. Well, let's get through the comments. Let's keep going. My wife made fun of me when I left because she's like, you always stream for like 5 hours. I was like, no, I'm going to do an hour. I think I've exceeded an hour. Garmin Complete Experience app hardware is the best on the market right now by far. Yeah, I tend to agree, but I think everyone else is catching up pretty quick, especially Coros. Coros has potential. I'm excited to see what they do in 2021 and moving forward. If they keep up this, they've got a fast pace. They're moving fast. And if they keep it up, I think Garmin has definitely noticed by now. Greetings from Finland. Awesome. The future of the Suunto app. Yeah, I just did a whole video about the ecosystems and apps. I got a lot of flack in the comments because I didn't go into great detail on the Suunto app. And it's, to be honest, because I don't love it, right? And it is not a lot to show. I hope they can bring it back to life. I hope they can, really rock the boat. And here's what I want to see from Suunto. If you're listening, because I know everything, right? No. I would like to see them release a new Suunto 7, but not call it the Suunto 7 II. Call it like the Suunto 8, Suunto 10, like a premium flagship device with this really awesome display, this OLED display, with really good battery life, with offline mapping, with all of the features of the Suunto 9 Barrow. It's a lot to ask. All of that wrapped up into a really nicely polished Wear OS device with offline mapping and routable maps, full featured, and then update the app to do all the stuff that these other brands do, like have a really solid training platform, training load, recovery time, maybe suggested workouts that you can do, and have it integrate with the watch. And I don't think it's definitely hard to do. I know these guys, all these brands work really hard, but I don't think it's unobtainable for them. And if they did that, they'd come back on the roadmap. They become a contender again, because right now I feel like they're getting a little bit stale. It's unfortunate because I think the Suunto 7 is a really cool device, but the software could have just been that much better. So I don't know. I don't know what the future is for them. I hope it's bright, because, I'm in, like I said before, I'm not a fanboy of any brand. I applaud them all for the effort they put into it. I like to see innovation driven forward, things changing. And I hate just seeing like here's another iteration. And, this one has a slightly better battery life and a brighter backlight. I want to see the boat rocked, that's what I think Coros is trying to do. And I hope they continue to do it. What's your take on the OLED screens for the upcoming Forerunner 900 and Fenix series? Memory and pixel screens outmatch Suunto in polar sharpness in sunlight, but in my experience, what about the battery? That's the big question. Let me take a sip. Getting dry mouth. Okay. So what I want to see from Garmin, if you're listening, again, Garmin, I want to see a Fenix 6 with an OLED screen, but I don't want that to be all Fenix 6s. I want to see, call it Fenix 6 OLED or Fenix 7 OLED, but still have a model with the regular screen, because OLED is going to chew on the battery. It's going to drain it really fast. We all know that. There's no way around it. Battery technology has driven forward, but there's no way to be around it. So, the memory and pixel display is a very low power option. That's why they do it. That's why it makes sense. It's why it's on a lot of other watches. But it would be cool if you had the choice, right? If you wanted a Fenix 6, but you really like how an Apple Watch had that great screen, and you hated the Fenix 6 screen, and you're willing to sacrifice some battery life for a great screen, maybe it's not 40 hours of battery life, maybe it's 20, and that's okay with you, buy the OLED model. If you're an ultra runner that runs 100-mile ultra marathons and you want the best battery life possible and don't care what the watch looks like or what the screen does, you just want training tools and mapping, and you want to be off the grid for 30 plus hours, then you buy the other one that doesn't have that OLED screen. If they can do that and have two different options, I would love that. And I think they're capable of doing that, because right now there's like, I don't know, 27 SKUs of the Fenix 6. You got the titanium, you've got, the steel DLC, you've got, you got the solar models, you got the S, the X, the regular. There's so many different variations that I think they could pull it off. And maybe just the X model, the largest one, gets that big screen so you can have a bigger battery in there to power it. You get more screen real estate. Maybe that's what it is. So maybe not all of them have OLED. I would like to see that, but who knows? Just got an Apple Watch for Christmas. Love it, and looking for some more. Awesome. Glad to be your friend. Thanks, Josie. Thanks for joining. I have big problems with my GPS on the Fenix 6. I'm running 50 minutes and tells me 2.5 kilometers. Did this happen with you, or only problem on the watch? I haven't had that happen with me. Make sure you're getting a good lock before you start running. Make sure it turns green before you hit go. Okay, I'm going to skip forward a little bit because I'm running short on time. But thank you all for joining. I'm going to go through my little spiel again. If you're interested in supporting the channel, these holographic stickers are so cool, and they are available in the link in the description. It's the chasethesummit.bigcartel.com if you're interested in picking some up. You can also pick up this awesome trucker hat that is by my favorite brand called Boko Gear. This is my favorite style of hat. I love it so much, and I finally got my brand put on this hat. I've got a limited supply. A lot of them already sold out in pre-order, but I still have some left. They are coming in today. Hopefully they're at my house right now. And if they are, and if you bought one already, I will be packing them up today, printing labels, getting them out the door, because I know how eager you guys are to get them. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, buy a sticker, buy a hat, become a member down below. Costs you a couple bucks a month. You'll get exclusive content. You'll get live streams like this once a week for just members. Once we hit that threshold of enough members, because I think if I did that right now, I'd be talking to myself. And yeah, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. If I didn't get to your chat, I apologize. There's just so many. And yeah, there's so many of you talking right now. I want to keep going through it, but I'm running out of time, and I want to get home and hang out with my family on New Year's Eve. So happy New Year's to everybody out there. Thank you again for joining me. It's been a lot of fun today. I hope you got what you wanted out of this live stream. I hope your 2020 was good. I didn't even talk about my 2021 goals. That was going to be part of this live stream, but we stuck to Watch Talk. Yeah, and be well, be safe. I will see you all in the next one. Thanks, everybody. Bye.